Coming up on today's show, part 8 of the Sherman. We've been obviously looking at pigments on this particular build over the last few shows, but we'll be having a look how we're getting on with the Sherman. We also got part 8 of the Jaguar. Yes, the Kitty Hawk Jaguar, really coming to life now, and in this week's part we actually looked at using oils to give the staining effect and worn effect to your paintwork. Been working on a special project this week. Yeah, my Christmas present from actually 2 years ago. So I've been looking at the Mobis Batmobile. This is the Tumbler from Dark Knight, so I'll be having a look at that one. This week's kit reviews, we had Hobby Boss's T1 Hawk. A little bit quirky of a kit, but it does make sense during the review, so we'll be looking at that one. Plus we've got Panda's 1/35th scale MATV with the MARAP system. Not exactly the best kit, so we'll be looking at that one. Be having a look at your work in the forum. I'll be having a good look to see how the egg build's coming on. Some excellent work in there, so we'll be having a look at that. Plus all the other news and gossip. Hello, welcome to Flory Models. I'm Flory. Great week this week. You know, to be honest, for me, I'm slightly ahead of you guys. So, you know, these two were out of the way last week, so I managed to push on with something else. My secret project, which I had a lot of fun doing. Basically, Monday we had the Sherman. As I said, there's lots of video bits been up about this one at the moment, purely because obviously using the pigments. Lots of people have asked about the new Flory Models pigments, how they work and all the rest of it. So by putting these up as a free-to-air thing, hopefully we've covered a lot more about it, showing you how to use pigments and all the rest of it. As I say, I finished this guy, my first ever proper diorama base and all the rest of it, which I absolutely loved. You know, lots and lots of fun with it. Enjoyed it thoroughly and all the rest of it, getting messy, doing things like stone work and all things like that, trying to make this sort of, you know, bits and pieces all over this one. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's done now and I'm really sorry that it's finished. I've really enjoyed just playing with all the little bits and pieces. Part 8 went up obviously on Monday and it talks about obviously oils, how to use the oils, different colours of oils, things like that, and then the pigment sort of goes along with that one. That's obviously, if you watch the new shows that you've already seen, which the full ones of those will be up next week, will be up next Monday, and show you everything more in depth, because as I say, it's about a 2 hour, well, about an hour video showing those in full about the actual use of pigments. So needless to say, I have enjoyed doing this beast. Not an armour guy, thoroughly converted. Yeah, I could easily move on to the dark side. If all armour was like that, I'd be in my element, no problem at all. But as you say, it's one of those things you sort of, you know, put off because of horror stories, old kits. You get a good kit, like every model, it all falls together. It doesn't matter if you're doing an aircraft, a bike, a car, sci-fi. If you get a good kit, it really sort of pushes you on with it, and lots of fun. So there we go, part 8 of that one went up on Monday. There's loads to sort of more to come on this one. It's going to be an 11-parter, I think, by the end of it, by the time I finish the final videos and the photo thing for it at the end. But as I said, well worth looking at it, especially if you're into oils and pigments, never really used them before. I've shown my way of doing it. I'm by no means an expert, but I am more than chuffed with the way it came out, which is definitely more luck than judgment. So we've enjoyed that one. Also part 8, because it's all about the 8s this week, the Jaguar went up as well. Something totally different on this one for me, using oils again. I've never used oils with it before. So in part 8 we talk about obviously your standard type of clay wash and the use of oils. So let's have a look. Alright, so then what we've got here is a smaller brush, and we're just going to rehydrate this just a little bit. Okay, and the oil paint you might be able to see just going around in here, and it's just a thin wash. Okay, it's nothing massive. Now the thing is, if you were just to come in and do it your normal way and brush this down, you could technically do, and we'll just do a little bit here just to show, okay? You can put it in just like this, all right? But the trouble is, it's quite, because it's on a flat coat, the capillary action is dragging it all off. But as you might be able to see, it's a little bit in your face, it's a little bit strong. And also, where you touch is where it's actually gonna go, okay? It's not gonna travel much more than that. And you might be thinking, okay, that's great for what we want. All right, and don't forget, you can always rub this stuff off when it's still wet a little bit and give you quite a nice weathering technique like that. So technically it's like a pin wash. The way I like to do it though is to actually grab some of your thinner. All right, so we've got some of the thinners here. This is our oils just here. So you grab your thinner, brush it a nice good quantity right over that entire area. Then come in with your oil, and you won't need tons, and all you're going to do is literally let the capillary action go on there and it will drag down. What it will do, first of all, it's going to keep it more localized to the panel line because that's where it's all going to try and go. And then it will naturally bleed out just a little bit. Okay, so we're just going to put a little bit down here. All right, so you can actually go round, and if we run a brush, big brush full up the top here, so there's plenty of this. So I'm going to do this entire section of it. Okay, so it's got plenty on there. Grab your thin mix again, all right, and say, all we're going to do is just going to run this up here, and you might be able to see it bleeds and leaches in a little bit more naturally. Okay, and we're going to go across the top as if it's got bleed and leach through, as we were saying about. Okay, and you might be able to see, because we've got basically gallons of this actually hitting around, you can put little splodges in and little marks like this, and what happens is when this dries on, it will dry in to your surface. If we're just going to do these air vent areas here, so again you can just touch it into these areas. The capillary action will go around like a pin wash, but what you can actually do, if we take a little bit more off the brush, you just mix it around just a little bit more. Okay, some more up around here, but you can see now it's starting to blend in, and it's going to give you a more of a weathered look. Yet down here, as you can see, it's very, very localized, but don't panic because you can go the other way now and put some thinners over the top, okay, and re-thin that entire section, okay, which is what I do like to do, just to dab around, just to put some parts in, just like that. Okay, so then you're ending up something like we had before. When it dries down, it will dry down in there, and as you can see, this has gone flat on its own. It hasn't had an overcoat, that's just had it and then walked off, but it gives you that nice grimy look. When you're talking armour and stuff like that, if you hold it up on the vertical, it will drain south and give you the streakiness marks, but on white it really comes to life. All right, so when you're doing the bigger picture, so to speak, and let's just assume you're working on your aircraft, we just move this up the camera out just a little bit. Okay, if you wanted to be putting it down on here, all right, so we've got it underneath. So if we do a few areas around the front, around the cockpit, let's pick a better side, which has got more on it. This is a bit more like it here. So what we're going to do, grab our turpentine, all right, and we're going to brush it all over. Now don't forget, we're using terps, and that won't affect anything on here because it's all been sealed with an acrylic. Okay, then we're going to take our oil, and all we're going to do is just going to brush it down like it's a pin wash, but it will bleed out. It will leach out of these areas, okay, and it should give us a more of a grind up type of look to everything. All right, so if you want it quite heavy, just get in there quite heavy. All right, but we're trying to recreate what we saw in the book with the instructions, with these bits generally getting a little bit over the top. Okay, so we're just going to pop in. As I say, we've got quite a bit going around the front here. If we just drop that camera down just a little bit more, you can see what we're getting here. So what we're going to do, just going to recoat the front end. So you imagine you've probably got quite a lot going on here of crew accessing these types of areas. Okay, so all we're going to do is probably a little bit much there, just wipe a little bit off. Don't forget you can grab it and drag it off to other areas. And as I say, don't worry too much about various things because you can, just going to pop these in around here, just going to put in a little bit around this front end. If you're finding it sticking too much and you're getting spots, just grab the thinner, you know, your medium you're doing for it, and just going to overcoat and brush down, and we're just obviously over hydrating some of this area, and we're just dragging it off into various areas. And that's the great thing with it. And a lot of people panic when you're using oils because you think you're going to wreck your model, okay? But technically you're not. You're just going to give it almost like a filter just to go in. And as I say, you can take away and add. Now down here we've got a little bit more too much going on, so I'm just going to grab a little bit of a thinner, okay, in there. Now it will react with the wash, but it won't affect anything, so don't panic too much, all right? But there we go, that's grimed up our front little area quite. Okay, so there we go, that's part 8 on that one, showing the oils and the various bits. Obviously, members, you can see the full video on that one, not just a clip. I talk about it quite extensively, about the underside, use of it here, there and everywhere with it. Personally, I'm a converted. I love the clay wash, don't get me wrong. I think it's just so easy to use, and that's why I used it for panel lines and doing things like that. But with staining, if you want to stain things up, then oils are the way to go, because they just give a very natural, fine detail to absolutely everything as it goes through. And I love the effect it's given me, and unfortunately it's one of those things that when you look at it, I look at it here, it looks far better it does on camera. I think the lights perhaps bleach it out and things like that, but definitely a lot of fun with that one. So part 8 is up on that one now. Again, I think it's going to be sort of around about a 10-parter with this one. So you've got a couple more weeks just until this one's finished off and to get it completed. But again, thoroughly enjoyed it now. The horror things, the nightmares, they've all gone there. It's like toothache, you know, as I said before, you know, you forget how bad it was. You know, I'm not going to go out and build the T2 anywhere time soon, but actually I have thoroughly enjoyed that one. This week as well, we had the live show on Tuesday. Loads of fun, as always. At least it worked well. Good to see Steve back again. He was ill the week before, so he wasn't with us, bless him. So he's back up to full Steve. Well done, Steve. And Sid as well. Bit panic at the end, eating our dinner, literally 30 seconds before we go on air. But anyway, we got there in the end. Lots of fun. Loads of you asked about seeing it and all the rest of it for members, non-members. Don't forget, non-members, you can watch it on our YouTube page. It is there, free to air. Usually it goes up the week afterwards, so you're a week behind us, if you like. If you do want to get involved, you do have to be a member. That's the only criteria. So if you are a non-member, feel free to watch along at any time. They're usually about 3 hours. I know we say 2. They're always 3 hours every week. But we do have a lot of fun, and hopefully we answer a lot of the members' questions that might be helpful to anybody else. We had 2 reviews go up this week. I've got lots of reviews we'll speak about in a moment. But we had the Hawk. This is Hobby Boss Hawk. This is the actual T1 version. They call it the Mark 1, but it's known as the T1. Loads of people said to me about it, oh Phil, the fences are wrong and all the rest of it. Actually, now I've reviewed it, I know why. It makes perfect sense. What it is, they're basically done a modular wing to fit everything. And as I say in the review, I'd rather remove them than have to put them on. So I can understand why they've done it. I love the way it's got the raised riveting all around the back end, because let's face it, you know, I say it in here as again, loads of us had to go around and put all of them back in, which is a nightmare. But it's modular. The thing is, we think it's the 600s, the 60s series. I think it's the Mark 64, is it? 65, which actually has those fences down in there. So that's the reason for it. You've got different fronts on it. We know there's a single seat coming along. Different tails, because obviously we're going to have the ones with the radar warning receivers and all things like that. That's why it is. This is the sort of standard kit, which just means you've got to sand out. And I know they don't mention it, but that's what it is to get you to a T1. I don't think it's a bad kit. It's, you know, like buses. We never had a 48 scale Hawk and then everyone's doing one. But I can understand this one being available in lots of different versions in the near future. So that's why it's done. Not so much a good kit went up this week as well, which was the Panda. This is 1/35th scale, the MATV with the MRAP system. Okay, you know, we speak about some kits getting better as they go along, and we're certainly speaking about Kitty Hawk, who, let's face it, that's horrible. It's a crap kit. The new stuff, pretty good. They're really getting there now. This is Panda, been around a long time. They've been making kits now for, well, as long as I can remember. They're not getting any better. Some of that stuff in there, the flash is atrocious. What is nice though, you get plenty of photo etch to do a lot of the frame working around it, which is a very nice touch, especially this stuff around the back here. You've got some very nice details in there, but unfortunately it's let down by very shoddy moulding. One of the sprues in particular is absolutely full of flash, and the moulding quality in some of the small parts is absolutely atrocious. There's so much flash on it, I don't think you could even clean it up, because by the time you clean it up you're going to destroy the detail because it's very small parts. It's a real shame. It's a lovely vehicle. I'd love to own one of them. Popping down Sainsbury's and that'd be brilliant. But yeah, unfortunately the kit's really let down by sort of poor quality of moulding. So come on Panda, get your arse in gear with that one, because as I say, it's good kits, good subjects, but unfortunately just the mould quality is just not there at that point, especially with the price break you're paying for these things. Anyway, the other thing as well we've had is the Snap auction. Now, normally we do an auction, and last year we raised just under £3,000, which was absolutely brilliant. The trouble was, a lot of people mentioned that, I'd love to have bid, but there's no way it could go that high. So what we've done this year is that we've done a raffle. Now, the simple way with this one, you buy a ticket, or you could buy 5 tickets or 10 tickets. Tickets are £2 each, and all the money will go to Snap. Okay. The idea is that basically over the last few months, people have been donating various bits and pieces. We've put it into a prize package, including the giant Heinkel, which is over there, okay, and everything else. And then obviously everybody's going to get entered. Print all those, your tickets off. They're all going to go into a giant box. Actually, it's box down there, which is what you're going to get, okay. And then we're going to have a big old sort out live on air, and we can pull them out. One thing, it does say in the video that it's actually going to end on the 1st of May. I videoed this almost a month ago when I thought I was originally going to do it, but through one reason or another, it's taken us a month to get it into a position where we can go for it, okay? So what it's actually going to run is to the 1st of June. So that bit where I say 1st of May in the film, scrap that, it's the 1st of June, okay? I'll reshoot another version of it, but I wanted to get that one out and do it. So let's have a look. Okay, Snap, a lot of you know, it's basically children with special needs in the Somerset area. It's a privately run charity, i.e. it's not state funded or anything else like that. Purely your donations is what makes it will happen, and all the rest of it. So we've done it now 3 years, so this is technically our 3rd year now for helping them out in any way we can. Basically, when I first started this, it was supposed to be your chance to win in a raffle the actual Heinkel. It was going to be an auction, but then we said probably a raffle's a bit better because it got a little bit out of hand last year when the bidding went to £3,000. I know a lot of you, obviously there's no way you could do that. Thanks for the guys who did, very, very generous, and we never thought we'd get that amount. But this year we thought we'd make it a little bit fairer and have a raffle system. All right, so you guys in your usual way too good turned around and said, oh, I've got some kits, and you've sent me some various bits down. So basically the raffle is, it's going to be £2 a ticket. You can enter as many times as you like. All right, so if you want to up your chances, you can enter 100-200 times. It would be lovely. Let's say tickets going to be £2 each. And everything else like that, and you'll be able to get them off the main page on the site. Okay, what you're going to get, obviously the Heinkel. A load of you know this one. It's the Heinkel as you see it. All right, obviously I will hand deliver all of this to anywhere that's basically a 4-hour drive one way, sort of 8-hour round trip, something I can do in a day. I'll deliver it to you. If not, I will slightly disassemble this so it gets you in one piece. But it'll be a doll will go together because you're all modelers. Okay, next up, because you're really too generous, we've got an Infinity CR Plus. Okay, I think Nick sent us that one. Thank you very, very much. He did one last year for us, and everything else. So that is the top of the range Infinity airbrush by Harder and Steenbeck. So well worth entering just for that one. Okay, then your kits. As I say, some of you have been really generous with this one. We've got, because these are dual packs, these are 144 MiG-21s. So we've got 2 of those down there, so that technically is 4 models. We've got the KI-84, the sword kit. We've got the extra kits, Sea Vixen. We've got here the Star, BA-10 armoured car. We've got, I can't remember who is the kit, Ashamiya, is it? I can never pronounce that one. Toyota 2000 GT, thank you very much. Airfix Sea Harry, no, it's not the booby prize, but you know. We've got down there the Tamiya Staghound Mark 1. This is the Tamiya kit. This is the D-Day Anniversary Edition kit as well. We've got the Tornado 148th. We know we've done that one. Brilliant kit. We've also got down here 172nd P47 Thunderbolt. We've got down here the Lynx in 172nd. Also going to get a full set of washes. You're also going to get a full set of sanders as well. Okay. Also, you're going to become LTM member for the site, which is a lifetime membership forever and ever, and everything else like that. And there'd probably might be 1 or 2 other things that we're hoping to pop in this as well, such as the pigments. Currently, they're not quite available. To be honest, I have a test one around here somewhere. Here it is. Okay, so we have those as well. There will be a full set of the pigments as well when they are available. which should be sometime this month as we go. All right, as I say, great job you did last year. I know you're not going to let me down. As I say, anything you can do, if you can buy 1 ticket, if you can buy 10 tickets, if you buy 100 tickets, that would be absolutely brilliant. Obviously, up your chances. We're going to run this one till the 1st of May. I'm going to draw this one on the 1st of May, okay, for the winner. And as I say, if you're in the UK, I'll deliver it to you. If not, we'll securely get all this boxed up and we'll ship it anywhere in the world. Obviously, I'll cover all the costs of that as well. So there we go. Thank you so much for last year. You did us amazingly proud and everything else like that. It was, you know, really moving to see how much actually you guys donated. Say we did just over £3,000 in total with all the final donations when those came in. So thank you very much. Hopefully we'll do something like that again this year. So there we go. Good luck with this one. Go and buy a ticket. Okay, so there we go. Don't forget you can buy your tickets on the actual Flory Models site. You don't have to be a member, and to be honest, and I've got a list of you names which is over there, sorry guys, for guys who are non-members. You actually said, look, I'm not a member, but I'd love to get involved with it. Massive thank you to you guys. There's about 7 or 8 of you, so you know, thank you so much. Don't forget, hey, you might win a subscription. Yeah, a lifetime subscription to Flory Models with all the gear as well if you get in, so you don't have to be a member. But honestly, it's members, non-members and all the rest of it. But a big thank you. As I said, so far we've raised, I think it's just over £600, which isn't bad because, you know, we're filming this quite early this morning, so it's only been up there 12 hours. So well done to everybody. You're doing a fantastic job. Keep it up. Let's get loads of tickets sold. There is going to be a couple more items added to that, so next week what I'll do is I'll get it all out again and we can go through the full list, and then I'll mention that it's not 1st of May, it's actually the 1st of June we're going to finish. The idea of the 1st of June as well is that it ties in because literally a couple of weeks later we go away and take the kids away with Snap. We're going to Tenerife for a week, so it'd be quite nice that we can sort of say, right, okay, hand the check over and everything else to them just before we go, because it'll be a bit of a special time for them. So there we go. Right, going to speak about it. You've been doing some excellent work in some excellent forums for this year's annual Easter egg gob. So what I thought we would have a quick look round. So just starting at the top, we've got David Smith. He's been working on this absolutely fantastic. This is the Raptor. He's even got the actual spot on helmet and all the rest of it, so some great work there, some beautiful painting on the actual figure. Just shows how much work goes into these guys. If you've never built an Eggplane before, you know, then you can certainly see all about it in these ones. Right, who else have we got down here? We've got the Special. This is Steve, and he's doing his. Bit of filler work needed in this one to get it all together. But as I say, absolutely fantastic with these, going really well together, guys. Fantastic. That is, what is it? It's, oh yeah, the T4. It's the Special scheme, so it's got massive decals with it. I say massive, you know, obviously we're only talking little things. Another Raptor, this is Mark's. Okay, again, it amazes me how much detail you guys put into these things. It's absolutely amazing. Look, full detailed cockpit and all the burners and all the rest of it that go together. You know, so absolutely brilliant job on those guys, amazing. Right, who else have we got? We're just working through the list here. An A6, favourite of mine, gotta love the A6. Okay, beautiful paintwork, as you can see on that one going together, all of them through. You say it's all the little attentions to details, and it's things that make them quirky as well. That's the whole point to this one. Right, okay, this is one of my favourites. This is Rob. Rob every year does something a little bit special, and in this one you've definitely got something a little bit special. And as you can see, there's so much work go into these. It's absolutely amazing. So if we just zip through some of these pictures, you can guess along with me about what it is. Yes, he's actually scratch building an X-Wing, okay, to go along with his Death Star. So absolutely amazing job on that one. So he's actually doing a Death Star and the X-Wing go along. So it's not an egg, it's a Death Star. Absolutely amazing. The level of detail, the scratch building, the thought process into going into these things as well is absolutely fantastic. But as you can see, it's not something you just chuck together. There is a little bit of thought that goes into this one. But the level of detail on the Egg Star, oh, that's it, can I copyright that one? Is absolutely fantastic on that. So a good old job on him. As I say, he never lets us down every year. Absolutely fantastic. And now he's scratch building his X-Wing. That's quite something else. Right, okay, who else we got? Just popping down the listy here. Let's just pick another quite wacky one. Just want to find okay, so this one here, we've actually got the Okay, so David Gale's been working on the Osprey. This is the new release this year. They did 2 flavours for this one, so he's working on that one at the moment. Absolutely grand job on that. So something a little bit different, and as I say, it's amazing. You could literally come out of everything. But so we've got a couple of Ospreys on the go with all of these. So our completed ones at the moment are, we've got an F22, which is Mark's, but as you can see, he's even on a little base. Brilliant job on that one. Great painting. Absolutely fantastic painting, mate. Absolutely great. We love that. Okay, and we've got a MiG-15. So there's Michael Wilson's MiG-15. They're the first 2 across the frying pan or finish line. Okay, brilliant job on those. Well done, guys. As I say, it's all a little bit of fun. If you want to get involved with any of the Eggplanes, then obviously, you know, you've got the area in the forum for it. It's our usual thing. It's only a little bit of fun with these. We have just got a great laugh, and as I say, it can be anything as long as it's egg-shaped, basically. That's how we run it. So there we go. Excellent work by everybody in those ones. I know most of you are going to finish them, but remember, you know, push on with them. Only got just over a week left now. Don't know exactly how long we've got on that. Let me just double check. Come on, slow thing there. Yeah, you've got 12th of April, so what, you got 2 weeks on that? So you've got 2 weeks left to finish those ones, so push through, guys, because you've got 23 on the go at the moment, so we've got 2 finished. So if we can get them all finished, it'll be absolutely fantastic. Don't forget, Toad and Toe and Sig, you've got until the 11th of May. You've also got, sorry, looking across, what we've got, 21st of June for the Stirring Up Dust, which is the actual proper group build, and you've got until the 5th of April for the Night Fighters. We're going to look at those next week as well. So we've got 73 on the go, 29 finished. Okay, so really push on with that one, guys, because you've only literally got just over a week left on those to get those finished off and everything else. So there we go, that's about it for this week. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to finish off the Batmobile, which we'll have a lot of fun with. Going to get that one all painted up and everything else. Next week you're going to get part 9 on both of them. Funny enough, it's amazing how they're together for these 2. And then obviously what I'm going to do is, once those are finished, then obviously the Batmobile's going to come along with the next project. We've finished now doing the actual the voting system for the next 2 builds, so that is going to be the Bradley and it is going to be the Sea Harrier, but I've got some other little projects all mixed around this. I don't think that, you know, oh, that's it, you're not doing this, that and the other. I've got some special stuff coming up as well in the next few weeks. So there we go. Take care, everybody, and happy modelling.